Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, Facebook, and YouTube. Get all your sports news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B, Wrestling Roundup, The Big Football Show, and more, Shield TV, Lions Villain Report, and Red Zone Rant. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla, Grosef Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, The Bodkin Show, Spirit of Detroit Podcast, and Maniacs. The nightly podcasts are Hallis Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Skol Gang 365, The Huddle Sports Network Open Mic, First and 10 with Foz, Main Event Football Show, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports. Spitballing Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, Puckett, 313 Den Podcast, The Guys Huddle, Shots from the Sideline, Let's Talk Sports, The Michigan Truth Sports Podcast, Off the Rails, NFC Northeast, Power Hours, and Detroit Lions News. Make sure you follow, like, share, subscribe, and comment. Hope you like all the shows.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Skol Gang 365, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time every Saturday night. What's going on, fellas?
The ghost in the machine. What's going down, bro? What's going on?
All right, Skull, take it away.
Oh shit, man. We might as well not even fuck around, bro. We might as well just get right into it. I mean, it ain't nothing to fuck around with. We got 3-0. We're on the road in Pac-12 land. Like I want to just start off, like I said on the Packer show, I'm not going to make it seem like no matter what the wins we just got, I still respect that building. I know it's hard to win in there. Matt LaFleur is a good coach, even though he has his choking moments and blunders and shit. I just don't understand. A lot of the Packer fans, most of them are homers anyway, but they just tell me they just feel like Josh Jacobs just wants to just run through us, and their defense is just so on point that they're just going to be picking dark. They're just going to break us down. And I just don't see what world that could happen. Now, is there a possibility that we could lose this game? Yes, there is. I've got this at about a 50-50. I'll probably get the Vikings at 60-40, actually, just because of where we're playing. But I don't think they understand what's coming. I don't think they paying attention to the defense that they're about to face. This is a fucking offense's worst nightmare. You're not going to tell me with the guys we just shut down, the weapons alone that we just fucking broke down like little fucking girls, that these guys in Green Bay are just about to run through us. I don't believe it for 1 second. I got us 27-20 Vikings for the win in Lambeau, and I'm thinking we're heading to London to face Rodgers undefeated. I think if Jordan Love is coming back, like they said it was confirmed. I like that better. There's no excuses. And he's going to be rusty. He's been out a couple of weeks. He's probably going to be worried about injuring himself again. I think Flores, we got to come for him. 64% like it's been or better, and we're gonna be okay. As long as our offensive line has been doing what they've been doing, we're gonna score some points. I don't trust the Packers what they say about their defense for 1 second. But how you feel about that, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, my biggest worry is the same worry that I have every year. There's actually two different things. One, divisional games, you never know what the fuck is going to happen. And then two, something always goes wrong when we play them guys. Either the field is shitty and we're sliding all over the place and it takes an entire half of football to get the right cleats in. But I noticed Justin Jefferson mentioned that already. He said, we're going to make sure, we think of all these things that have went wrong. And then, the unforeseen things happen. Like at the end of the game last year is when Cousins went down and played his last snap. It's between bad luck and then just bad preparation and everything. O'Connell's had 2 years of this now. He's won there before. I think nobody understood what was going on when we brought in those three free key agents with Van Ginkel, with Grenard, and with Cashman. Well, now people know. I like our chances, and especially because I seen the injury report, and it's possible that Jair and Carrington Valentine may either be limited or not play because they just activated two corners this afternoon off of the practice squad. And with us getting Addison back, I agree. I mean, the odds, they're a 2.5 point favorite in Vegas, but the odds should be in our favor, I feel like, on this one. I mean, We've proven it so far.
Yeah, and it's usually 3 for the home team, so they're really giving us a point.
Yep. Oh, Roberts, what up, homers? You ready for the Packers? Yes, Robert. Why don't?
Yeah, are the Packers ready for us?
See,
And yeah, I expect Kevin
the
O'Connell to have his team ready,
question
man.
is, Rob, are you ready for the skull clap in the ass?
I expect Aaron Jones to be inspired, man. I expect us to come with that shit. And then the thing about it is these guys think that the Vikings somehow like blitz on every play. Now, 64%, that sounds like a lot, but some of these packages, some of these looks that we're going to be throwing at that ass, they're not coming all the time. Jordan Love's going to have to be airing that motherfucker out like Peyton Manning for you guys to air us out in that motherfucker. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets picked off. And Sam Darnold, you guys don't understand. This shit is personal with Sam Darnold. And I get to talk big and bad. All three of us do, but we're all going to talk this shit. I told you motherfuckers this shit was coming before it happened. It's only week 3. But for Sam Darnold, the guys you guys said was trash. It was so trash. He was going to have us locked for the basement, 4 to 5 wins. The motherfucker's leading the league in touchdowns right now. And all that talk I heard about him, what did I say? Your team better not lose to him even once. And that goes for all you motherfuckers. I'm not going to let you live it down because he got ridiculed every goddamn day. He's seeing ghosts. He's on his 3rd team. He didn't do anything when San Fran put him in for the start last year. I told you, motherfuckers, when you come to a new situation, the purple and gold, people believe in you, the city's fucking with you, and you want to save your career, that does something for a man.
Well, you said no ass stuff, but now you're saying love's back, so that sounds like ass stuff.
I ain't worried about Jordan Love. I respect Jordan Love, but at the same time, Jordan Love didn't get his act together until we whooped his ass last year. We knocked that motherfucker around. He turned into an all-pro. Until then, he wasn't on the pop, and that's why I say, as good as I understand his contract, but he didn't earn that yet. And we're going to show you pack turds. I'm telling you right now, Matt LaFleur is going to have to get us this one too. Josh Jacobs, he'll probably have some solid numbers, but he's not about to run through a goddamn thing.
Your defense is better, but you're going to be missing 2 your starting corners.
Yeah,
McKinney ain't getting no pick. And McKinney is a damn good safety. He ain't getting no goddamn pick. You know what you can do? You can pick Stafford off the next week for week 5. Go ahead and get 2 of them.
I'll tell you what. If Jordan Love actually plays the whole game, I think Flores is going to throw every exotic blitz you ever did see at him. If Malik Willis is in there, I think he takes his 4 best rushers or 3 and sends them. And you've got those linebackers like Cashman doing his damn job.
Yep.
Jamal, I mean, Cashman, you got to almost agree. We love what Van Ginkel and Grenard do, but Cashman has been money. I mean, that has been a hell of a fucking signing.
Each signee, and it's crazy because when we replaced Daniil Hunter and these other fuckers with these guys, they just thought the dramatic. I kept saying, bro, this is Brian Flores year 2. Other guys coming up. Just look what he did for Cam Bynum and Josh Metellus the fucking first year. These guys are growing with this shit. They're believing he got guys that he used to work with. Man, they're locked in. I think they're locked in, and then we got everybody coming. Dallas Turner's coming back for this game. Only one that's not a go is Ivan Pace. I wish he was there, but he's not going to stop that show. I think this is going to be a real good clash. A lot of Aaron Jones should be inspired. The Packer crowd going to be on that. I would hope Jair plays, but I don't expect him to play injured because he knows damn well he ain't playing if he's even a little bit banged up. He ain't got a chance if he is healthy. God damn it! And then he's going to shut him down. He owns JJ. That motherfucker got baked by Addison in his first goddamn rookie year. It was his rookie year. Do y'all think he's better than JJ? Do you think A.J. Brown is better than Justin Jefferson? He just cooked that motherfucker. He better play. If the doctors say he's good, he better play. Or we're going to talk about this, Rob.
Yeah.
Then shut your ass up.
Oh, Tim's being Tim. I mean, let him babble. Who gives a fuck? At any rate, getting back to Darnold and everything, someone said, well, what happens when Darnold goes back to being Darnold? I think this is Darnold. Like we said at the beginning of the year, all he has to do is not fuck up majorly. So far this year, and this is the first season we've had in a couple of years where we're winning the turnover margin. We're like +4 or something like that. I don't remember after this last game what it was like. They're not asking him to put the team on his shoulder, but I mean, he is making plays through the air too. He's actually exceeded expectations.
Not even just that, right? Yeah.
I kind of figured we'd really use Jones. Jones has less carries than what Josh Jacobs does right now, and I figured that would kind of be inverted, and we would be just running the shit out of Jones and everything, using the run, set up the pass. We're still passing first, and then Jones is capitalizing on all that stuff. Jones. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does back in Atlanta and everything.
He wants a career day, and the thing is, Rob, we don't have to play it like that. You know why? Talking about when he goes back to being Darnold. No, you motherfuckers, especially you Packers, you guys told us that he was trash from the get. There is no going back. You told us that he's going to be trash out the gate. You told us he was the de facto reasons why you weren't worried about the Vikings. So you can't just wash it off when he gets to going back. By the time he's going back, he done put 4 touchdowns up on your ass.
So Dorn's still yapping about Kenny Clark owning.
And like
Bradbury.
I said, I'm willing.
Thanks for pointing that out there, Dorn Einstein.
Fuck John Dorn. I'm willing to own if I'm
wrong. The ball in the San Francisco game, but we still won.
Other than the fact that this is a division rivalry and a division game, what can the Pac-Turds throw at us that San Fran and the Texans haven't? I mean, no, don't get me wrong. They got some decent players. They got some nice players over there. But I think we just beat 2 quarterbacks better than Jordan Love. And both the set of weapons that they possess way better than what the Packers have. Do the Packers really think their defense is better than the San Francisco 49ers? I'm telling you, you motherfuckers don't even know what's coming.
See, I like how Packer fans forget about Josh Jacobs and his fumbling and his injuries.
I'm not worried about that.
Talk all day about Aaron Jones, but let's not forget about Josh Jacobs' record.
He ain't getting his first touchdown this week either.
Yeah. Here's the thing. The Packers have switched to a 4-3 defense, right? Kenny Clark has sat there. Yes, he's gotten the better of Garrett Bradbury, as has most good defensive tackles. But are you going to sit there and tell me that Kenny Clark is better than Dexter Lawrence? Because other than a couple plays at the beginning of that Giants game, Bradbury and Ingram held Dexter Lawrence in check pretty well. And to be honest, that they didn't have too bad of a showing against San Fran's defense with all those stars up there on that defensive line either. So,
yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, Robin. Not just that. They just had 8 sacks. They just had 8 sacks, right? Are you about to get all 8 of them with Kenny Clark against Bradbury? Because I'm going to tell you right now, all those sacks with Sean Gary and whoever that other Lucas Van Ness, motherfuckers ain't got nothing coming versus Brian O'Neill and Darius Hall. I want them motherfuckers. We're going to try this in a small town and see if you guys can pull off that kind of performance against this offensive line. I don't see it. John Dorn.
Dorn, you say below average offensive line. ESPN rankings have them in the top 7.
I like how Dorn was sitting there saying that Love's going to pick apart our secondary. Have you not seen our secondary in the last 3 games?
This motherfucker gonna be Lambeau last year 2.0, and it don't matter. And like I said, all we get the dub. We don't got to do this in good fashion. It might end up being a close game. It might end up being lower score than people think. But what I know is, I expect these coaches to have these motherfuckers motivated and ready to go. I expect them to be pumped up. I expect them to be rolling off the confidence of the wins that we just had, and just to know, shit, we're heading to London the weeks after. We're going with Aaron Rodgers. I would love to head into this bye week like that. After that, so we'll just focus on what's up, Colin.
What's up, Colin?
Oh, did he freeze?
Hope he froze up.
There you go.
You there, Colin?
What's up, bro? Vikings offensive line is horrible. Really? Well, it's better than the one you just faced. I'll tell you that much.
Vikings secondary against the pass is like 28th. Okay, now do scoring defense, Dorn.
How many touchdowns have we given up, John Dinky Dorn? How many touchdowns have we given up? When you look at that, how about you go check out this run defense?
I like how Dorn's just cherry picking shit tonight.
Yeah, 28th because we've been shutting all the fucking running backs down, motherfucker. holding running backs to 38 yards and shit. That's the type of shit that happens. You don't have a good win on the season yet, so you don't get to bark. The only liable opponent you face, AJ Brown, cooked Jair's ass, and you took an L. So I don't want to hear it, John Dorn. I don't want to hear it until you prove it tomorrow. And I like my chances. I knew, and the motherfucking Willis, he likes to scramble and shit, do his Justin Fields impersonation. I want Jordan Love. I want the motherfucker who thinks he's going to try to sit back there, scramble around, and extend plays, get his little fucking dick knocked in the dirt.
Yeah,
I want Dallas Turner to give his ass a mud bath, give his ass a turf bath.
Ivan Pace Jr. is out for this game. He's our only person that's not going to be available. That's not on IR, obviously, because Hawkinson and Reisner are out. But,
we haven't faced any good running backs.
But that Gruger,
so
that
San
Gruger
Fran's
Hill,
running back didn't put 147 up the week before.
Gruger Hill's subbing in real nicely for Ivan Pace.
Second play of the defensive snaps picks off CJ Stroud for the first time in something like 263 or 268 attempts. That was actually really good. I mean, right off the bat, set the tone. And like I said, I can't wait to see what kind of pressure schemes that B-Flow comes up with for Jordan Love or Malik Willis. And now I just seen a thing, Darren, as to where they said they might rotate them guys out. Like Jordan Love might start or whatever, but they might have certain packages where they put Malik Willis in or whatever, just to change things up. So as long as he keeps disguising what he's doing at the line and everything, making it look like it's man, and all of a sudden, boom, as soon as the snap, they drop and they're into like a too high zone just as fast as shit and everything. That's the kind of stuff that'll drive young quarterbacks. And regardless of however long Love has been around, he has 1 year of actual practical experience on the field. That's kind of shit that'll drive him or Malik Willis nuts. Really.
Right. And with the way our defense is playing and the way that Flores is cooking up these schemes, I'm already dubbing a new nickname for this defense, Purple Haze. Coverages and the schemes are hazy. Get ready for it, Packer fans.
Right. Yeah, Ben Lieber went on Twitter and put up a poll, and Purple Haze is one of the options and everything for a nickname for the defense, and that is actually what won too. So
Purple
Ben Lieber,
Haze
defense, gonna start calling it the Purple Haze defense, which is pretty cool. But apparently we got some tech issues with Colin and with James, but looking back here real quick, just at the Texans game, Darren, who do you think really, obviously Darnold with 4 passing touchdowns. I mean, you sit there at the beginning of the year and say, a team that we were supposed to lose, because we were supposed to, squeak out a win in week 1 and then get hammered by the Niners, then get hammered by the Texans. Then we're supposed to get hammered by the Packers. We're sitting here undefeated. We throttled the fucking Texans. Who do you feel like really put that offense on their shoulders for that Texans game, Darren?
I'm gonna have to go with Christian Darrisaw, just with his protection. Him and O'Neal that game. They held back Danielle Hunter. They held back Will Anderson. It started up with the trenches, and then giving Darnold that type of confidence really helped Sam Darnold. And through these last 3 games, you can totally tell how comfortable he is with this offense. He's comfortable in Kevin O'Connell's system. I think he's going to have one of the best years of his career with Minnesota this year. So I give big kudos to that offensive line.
Yeah, I'm actually really impressed with the way that the interior, because we knew that the interior with and we talked about this before the season started, with Bradbury and with Ingram specifically. Blake Brandel's played lights out at left guard. Ingram is still the worst person on the line, but to be honest, he's acquitted himself well enough to win games by convincing margins in the past 2 weeks and everything. So it'll be my big interest on that. And I agree. Darisaw and Brian O'Neill do not get the recognition that they should get. The announcer, when I was watching it on TV, because I was at the San Francisco 49ers game in person in the stadium, but the announcer on TV did during the Texans game, I think it was in the third quarter, make mention and highlight, these two bookend tackles that we've got with Darisaw and O'Neill, and one of the best tandems in the league and everything. And it's nice to finally get some national recognition on that because, Darisaw's out there. He's taking on two guys at once and just bulldozing the fuckers,
Yeah, there's times too where O'Neill's taking on 1, 2, 3 guys at a time.
Oh yeah, it's been incredible. So, what do you think we have to do other than minimizing turnovers and creating turnovers? Ball security is a plus. How do you think we attack this Packers defense? Do we keep the same kind of thing going that we're doing? Do we try to get big chunk plays, or do we try if they're getting pressure? Do we try a bunch of quick hits? Quick out routes, crossing routes in the middle of the field. KOC loves to attack the middle of the field. They also have some good linebackers and a good front seven over there in Green Bay. What do you think we should do for a game plan?
I think what they need to do is attack the middle and right away get the ball out to Addison, get the ball out to Jefferson, minimize getting Jones going from the backfield. Just can start confusing them.
She wouldn't answer me.
Okay, call her on the phone.
I did.
Right. Sorry, dealing with some stuff. Yeah. Let's see here. Yoli says hello, everybody. Yeah, we see the comments, guys. I'm not concerned with it. Obviously nothing. He's just yapping. Nothing of it. None of that stuff is true. So it is what it is. But let's get some comments going here and everything from our viewers and everything. We'll get into some predictions and stuff, but Addison coming back, Darren, I wanted to get your opinion. How do you think he's utilized? What kind of workload is he going to get, and what are you looking out of him this time, especially with the fact that Jair and Carrington Valentine might not be on the field?
I think they give him about a medium-sized workload. I think you still throw in Jalen Naylor just so he doesn't risk re-aggravating his ankle. But I do think with Valentine and Jair out, I think that helps out Jefferson a lot.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I don't think Jalen Naylor has earned every bit of what he's gotten, and he's had a touchdown in every game. I don't think you ignore him, but it makes it real interesting because now you know, if you're Sam Darnold, I just wonder, do you feel like you're pressured to spread the wealth, or do you keep on going? Because you can really tell that Darnold trusts Naylor. I mean, he's whipping stuff in there that for a quarterback and wide receiver duo that's only played 3 games so far and everything, it's a pretty impressive level of trust with some of those throws that he's gotten. But again, Naylor, I feel has earned it, and it's going to be interesting to see how they spread the ball around. So
also seeing how they utilize Johnny Munt this game. Really excited to see that. He had a touchdown last game. Hopefully keeps that trend going.
Yeah.
But I would really like to see Josh Oliver get more involved.
Me too, but I also understand the Vikings use him as a blocker, and he has made some plays. He's also coughed the ball up a couple times last year and everything. I think the biggest problem is with Oliver being our tight end 2 and our blocker is that there's a huge fall off between Hawkinson at tight end 1 and then Munt and Muse at tight end 3 and 4. And Robert Tanyan got activated again too, to everybody's pleasure. I gotta hate that guy. Okay, Big Bob is on the 53, so I don't know if they'll try to do some kind of retro thing just to get him a snap or two out there in Green Bay. I mean,
get him a touchdown with like a minute left in the fourth.
I tell you what. And Will says Sam Darnold keep this up. If he keeps this up, he becomes potential MVP and comeback player of the year. I don't think there's any universe, and I don't care how good Sam Darnold does. I don't think there's any universe where he'll get MVP over top of Lamar or Patrick Mahomes. But comeback player of the year,
yeah, I could see
how could you not? How could you not at this point? Unless he just totally falls off the cliff in the second half of the season. I think also the biggest thing is we have managed to relatively stay healthy, minus all the bad shit that happened to us in the preseason.
Yeah.
We've had people on the injury reports, but it gets cleaned up more or less before every game. And when we're only going shorthanded with one or two guys, and like this time, it's just Ivan Pace Jr. that's out. I think that's been pretty key for us to be able to go in and kind of do what we want to do,
I think it helps out a lot. And then given how much time he's had with all the offensive weapons this offseason, I think it's helping Darnold out a lot. And I think just the way this defense is set up and built up, I think, missing one or two guys really doesn't hurt this defense because everybody gets involved, everybody participates, everybody's playing at the same level.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Joseph says it's not like the Vikings have a history of collapse. Touche. Normally it's in the last half of the season though, so definitely hope that doesn't happen. I think the other big bright part is our kicker, Will Reichard. I mean,
that guy's been playing lights out. Although he almost gave me a heart attack when it hit the upright.
Yeah. But the way the Vikings luck goes in the past, it would have hit the upright and miss. And this time it actually hit the upright and bounced in. It's like, wow, are we finally turning the corner on luck and kicking? That'd be awesome.
Exactly.
But, and Will, thanks, Will. That's awesome. Yeah, I tell you what, who are you worried about on that Green Bay defense specifically?
See, there's only two guys that really stand out right now. Could be a third guy, which I look at Xavier McKinney. He's always going to be a problem. We had a problem with him in that wild card game against the Giants. Obviously Kenny Clark at the defensive line. So I don't think you're going to see a lot of running up the middle.
Yeah.
As far as that goes, but Rashawn Gary, as long as
right.
they can hold their blocks and try to limit Gary in the backfield, I think we'll be fine. Other than that, I think those are the three guys you got to be concerned about this Sunday.
Yeah. I'm also interested to see these two guys that they elevated from the practice squad if they get any kind of real playing time at corner, because sometimes those young corners that you've never had any tape on or whatever. Now, am I worried about a guy that just got elevated from the practice squad shutting down JJ or Addison or even Naylor? No, but you just never know what's going to happen. And this is a divisional matchup, that this is the time when the weird shit does happen. So
this is a time when Packer fans talk about the XFL guys they put up from the 53.
Right. There's Colin. Hey, what's up?
What's going on, John?
Not much.
Yep.
What's going on, you guys?
What's going on, Colin?
Oh, Sully's here. What's up, Sully?
What's up, Rob? What are we talking about?
So right now we're just talking about the fact that the Packers did activate 2 guys from the practice squad, 2 corners, and Jair and Carrington Valentine have injury designations. Like one of them's doubtful and one of them's questionable. I want to say Jair's questionable and Carrington Valentine's doubtful. So of the guys on the Packers defense, and considering that our O-line has been playing at a top 5 level more, or as a group, who are you most worried about disrupting what we're trying to do with our game plan on Green Bay's defense?
That's a good question.
I mean, you got your obvious, Kenny Clark in the middle. Dorn was on here yipping big time earlier with Kenny Clark versus Bradbury and, probably Ingram and whatever else. And then, of course, you've got Rashawn Gary. And then you've got your normal suspects and stuff sitting back there and everything. I'm trying to think, especially with them switching from a 3-4 to a 4-3, the why that, I feel like we should acquit ourselves pretty well out there, to be honest.
Correct. I think Valentine's out, correct?
I believe he was the one that was doubtful.
He's doubtful.
He's
Okay.
doubtful, and Jair's questionable.
Well, I think Jalen Naylor's gonna have himself a good game.
Yeah, I think all 3 of them are gonna have a good game.
Yeah. I think they need to test Jefferson on Alexander if he does play. Test him on the deep ball.
And if he does play, he's not going to be 100%.
Is
Right.
Addison playing? Is Addison playing tomorrow or not?
Yeah, Addison's go.
Yep. The only guy out for us is Ivan Pace. Otherwise,
Yep.
everybody's a go. That's not on IR. So
The only one that's out is Ivan.
Okay. And Hawkinson's still out too. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. When are we getting Hawkinson back?
it sounds like after the London game. So probably for the Lions. We'll have the bye. We'll have the London game, the bye, all that other stuff, and then probably the Lions game. Is what it's sounding like. But you know what? An ACL injury is usually a year for normal people, and then you can shorten that up for professional athletes and stuff like that. But that's still ahead of schedule and everything, because he didn't tear that ACL until toward the end of the season. Right. So, and the thing is,
Greg, I should be worried about Jair, Greg, asking for a friend.
No, you shouldn't. Jetta's learned from last year when he shut him down, and this year he's coming out with a vengeance.
Yep.
And Jair's going to look like a high school cornerback.
Remember, it was a year ago that Addison burned him. Addison burned Jair Alexander for 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, Jair's overrated, guys. I'm telling you right now, every time he goes up against an elite wide receiver, he's mediocre at best. He has a couple games where he has some flashes in the pan, but other than that, I don't see it, man.
Yeah, Jair's nickname is one high or two high, because he always has one high or two high safety help every time he makes a play.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you're probably going to see McKinney down there a lot, helping them out.
And it hasn't even been. I don't even think Jair's going to play. They brought up 2 dudes from the practice squad, and elevated them. So I don't think Jair is going to play.
I will say McKinney has like 2 or 3, or I think Jair has 2 sacks. McKinney has 3, or vice versa. So McKinney has actually been having a really good season too. So Darnold is going to have to be careful with the ball. I mean, he can't just get reckless and
Right.
I mean, definitely when it comes to anybody they got back there, if it's Jefferson or Addison, I say put it where they can try and catch it and give your guy a chance. But we have to come out on the winning end of the turnover battle. When Kevin O'Connell has won the turnover margin or tied the turnover margin in games, he is 19-0 for the Vikings right now as a coach. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. I seen that the other day.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Gotta get pressure on Jordan Love. If Jordan Love plays tomorrow, that could be a mistake for the Packers. But it could benefit us at the same time. It's funny. I brought up Jordan Addison because he got hurt during the preseason, the ankle injury. Came back week 1, played week 1, and re-aggravated it.
Yeah.
So it's like I was like the same thing could happen with Jordan Love. So
Yeah. So like if Jordan Love is in there, I think Flores will bring every exotic blitz that you ever did see and put pressure on almost every drop back that he has. If Malik Willis is in there, I think he'll probably bring 3 or 4, and then you'll see a lot of that where we have everybody up on the line, but then as soon as the snap hits, immediately drop back because it looks like it's man coverage, but then all of a sudden it goes to zone and they're bracketing guys. Because I think if they're going to bracket somebody, because there's no real clear wide receiver one in Green Bay, except I think Jaden Reed is making a case for that. I think if they're going to bracket anybody, they're going to try and bracket him, and they'll use deception and different schemes and everything like what we've seen against the Texans and everything to disguise it. Because I mean, CJ Stroud all but admitted that shit was confusing as hell. As a second-year man back there, and look at the freaking amazing rookie season that CJ Stroud had.
right. Everyone's calling him a fraud now because of what we did. Like we did that to Brock Purdy. We did the same thing to Brock Purdy. Their defense is a little bit better, so that's the reason why it wasn't such a wider point spread. We only won by 6 points. Their defense is good. Texan defense is good too, but you get the turnovers. They have to punt all the time. The defense eventually gets worn down.
Here's the thing. I still think that the 49ers and the Texans are playoff teams at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And if they are, I mean, that looks better on our part, beating pretty convincingly 2 teams that are probably going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah. We win tomorrow, though. I'm going to be live on Facebook calling out all Packer fans. They said that they were not going to lose to Sam Darnold. If they lose to Sam Darnold, I'm coming for them.
See me, or am I still black? Oh, there I am. All right.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm in the back. I'm in the backyard making chicken wings and short ribs on the Weber.
Nice.
Watching Ohio State make Michigan State look like a high school football team.
Speaking of high school football, not that I give a shit because I'm a Hawkeyes fan, but did you see that end for the Gophers? And
Bro, that was such bullshit. I mean, they were not offsides at all whatsoever. I would be raising every bitch I possibly could.
Yeah, I think the Gophers got jobbed hard on that one. I saw the replay like 500 fucking times, and yeah, I didn't see nothing.
Fucking robbed of a touchdown.
Yeah. No, they should have beat. They should have beat Michigan. I'm an Ohio State fan.
Yeah.
I love my Bucks, but Gophers got robbed. They really did. That was some bullshit, and NCAA needs to come in, and that officiating crew needs to go the fuck away. All bullshit aside.
Yeah.
Hey, Darren, do we have a Viking Steve Thomas on here?
Do we have a Vikings?
Steve Thomas, he's a Lions fan. He lives in Ohio. He's a Buckeyes fan. That's why I said that.
Yeah. Well, it's just like I got into a little bit of a conversation. I don't know if any of you guys were in there or not. I was born and raised in Minnesota. I just have a hard time cheering for the Gophers because they don't do anything
Exactly.
to make themselves better.
So what you're saying is you're not a huge fan of PJ Fleck.
I fucking hate PJ
No,
Fleck
PJ
too,
Fleck.
dude.
I just
I think Darren, you were ranting about him last week after that Iowa game.
I mean, you bring in a coach from Eastern Michigan who is mediocre there. You
Yep.
brought it. Okay, I get it. Roll the boat. You've got some chemistry. But we're, like, I don't know who I was talking to.
I don't fucking like that whole roll the boat shit.
Yeah, we're a fucking rodent. We're not going to be rolling
gophers.
a boat.
We have nothing to do with water.
Yeah, no. I mean, PJ Fleck needs to go. You need to bring in a different coach with a little bit of a downfield atmosphere. We
Right.
run the ball more than we throw the ball. We thought that, the quarterback we brought in from New Hampshire was going to be the godsend of all of it, and you lost out on 4 and 5-star recruits because you didn't have the NIL money to give them. But boosters provide NIL money. Boosters are pissed off because we're mediocre. So it's a downhill spiral.
And then not only that, you got all that money going towards PJ Fleck's contract, which doesn't fucking help.
Yeah, he's a fucking bum. 100%.
I was pissed off when Iowa lost to Iowa State, and I was like, okay, after like 30 some years of Kirk Ferentz, I'm sick and tired of the BS. He is single-handedly hurting the freaking Iowa program and everything. Then they've come back, and they were kind of okay against Troy, and then actually went to Minnesota, played a good game and everything. Maybe he just needs to understand that he needs to let his coordinators do a lot of the shot calling, on Iowa's part, and maybe that's part of what PJ Fleck's problem is too. He needs to delegate more shit than what he does. He tries to micromanage the entire team.
But he won't, though, bro. He's an absolute power hungry monger that is not going to give up any power, and he thinks that he can run offense, defense, special teams, everything. And until that happens,
did you know that idiot has his own podcast called the PJ Fleck Show?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
He's going to be a 500. He's going to be a 500 team for as long as he's in Minnesota. He's not going to beat. He's not going to beat any. He's not going to beat Iowa. He's not going to beat Michigan. He's not going to beat Ohio State. He's not going to beat Iowa State. He's going to beat teams like Northwestern and St. Mary Helens of New England. That's it.
Right. Now, see, I like this comment. The Vikings win. They should be out there doing the Randy Moss wiping their butts on the goalpost at Lambeau move. You know what?
They need to go out there and do the moon.
Yeah. The moon.
Hey, Rob, I was actually at that game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I got a buddy of mine who's a big Packers fan, season ticket holder, shareholder, whatever, and he invited me to that game, and we sat end zone 30 rows up, 5 rows over from the goalpost. It was awesome, and I got to witness that firsthand.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that 97-yard touchdown pass against the Niners that they threw to Jefferson, that was the second longest play from scrimmage since Gus Surratt to Bernard Berrien in
99 yards.
99.
Yeah,
I had to think about it. I was in the stands in both games. I was more closer to the 50-yard line in 08 in the Metrodome, but then I was row 3 in the end zone for that Niners one and everything. Unfortunately, it went to the other end zone where the touchdown was. But most fucked up thing of it is, I have my phone. I would have had the best fan video of that too. So I hit it. I didn't realize it was on camera and not video. So I'm thinking here I'm videoing the whole thing. All I got was one still shot of the front of it. Like, fuck.
I was there last week. I don't know if Jeremy told you, but I was field passes and
nice.
Viking sideline, 30-yard line, 10 rows up. So I was at that game.
Perfect.
And it literally took me about 6 hours to get my hearing back. It was the loudest game I've ever been to in my life. We went to Matt's bar, after the
Yep.
game, had some Juicy
Juicy
Lucy's,
Lucy's.
and
Yep.
I still couldn't hear when I was there. My buddies were like, "Hey," and it was amazing.
Well, they said, and they're showing on TV, it hit 128 decibels at one point in time. So one of my hobbies is I play in a band, and we have 20,000 watts of power. I mean, we have 6 main speakers, 2, big subs that they're like 400-pound powered JBL subs. I mean, this sound system, we only run it at 105 to 110 at the most outside. And that was 18 decibels louder than something that's deafening to stand in front of. I can about imagine where you'd have some ringing in your ears and be a little bit deaf afterwards.
Yeah, it was definitely a great experience. It was the loudest game I've ever been to. Now, I was in the Dome in '98, and that was loud, but US Bank was way louder for the Texans game than any game I've ever been to.
So basically, get some earphones or get some earpieces.
Hell no! I'd rather be deaf and get a W than fucking earphones and get an L.
Right? That's awesome.
That is awesome.
So, what do we think for score predictions on this,
guys? It's gonna be close. Green Bay's don't think they're just gonna lay down. I think our defense is gonna definitely win us the game, but I'm thinking 27, 21 Vikings.
I was thinking.
I'm sorry.
Pretty close to that, like 34-27. I think we'll be able to score on them, but they're a very, very prideful group there, and rightfully so, with all the heritage in Green Bay. They're gonna play tough. They're gonna play it like it's. This is the funniest thing. They always say that when we go over there, it's our Super Bowl. I feel like they're gonna play like it's their Super Bowl. They have a chance to take over first place if they beat us. They have a chance to get really, really buried if they don't. And I'm not going to say that any week 4 contest is a must-win game, but whoever loses this game is not doing themselves any favors in the NFC North at all.
Yeah, I just had to show you, Rob, so you know.
Oh, sweet. Yeah,
no, you're correct, Rob. You're correct, because if we win, then we put ourselves up 2 games ahead. So
yeah.
So if they win, then they are in first place because they have the tiebreaker, and then they had competition right there. So plus the divisional win, so we definitely need to win. If we can put Jordan Love, if we can put him on his back, put him on his heels the whole game, we have a chance to win. I think the X factor is gonna be Jalen Naylor. I think he's gonna be the X factor.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm out back. So I got spotty service. I apologize.
The 2 teams that I'm not trying to shit on the Bears. I'm really not. But of the 2 teams that are really actually going to compete with us this year, between the Lions and the Packers, who do you think it's more important that we get put away early? Because to be honest, the Lions, and I've said this before, they are the division champs. They're the team to beat, at least on paper, or whatever, until proven differently. But who's more dangerous right now that needs to be put away faster, the Packers or the Lions? Because the Lions have really looked like they're a beatable team from what I've seen in the first couple games that they played too.
Healthy Jordan Love.
Packers are more dangerous than the Lions.
The Packers have to be put away because I think the Lions have been exposed, and I think that they are beatable. I mean, they barely won the 2 games that they've won. They've lost, and I think that our defense would be able to shut them down and put pressure on Goff, and I think that's the way it is. So.
I agree. I agree with you. I totally agree. The Packers are a young team too. Jared Goff. He's not horrible, but he's starting to age. He's aging. So.
Yeah. I've had to do it on my fantasy, and he ain't done shit all year. So.
and they get Seattle on Monday night in Detroit. I think that's going to be an L. I honestly think the Seahawks are going to win this game.
I give
In Detroit.
a 3-point plus because it's in Detroit. You know, but
Yeah.
Geno Smith has to come out and have a game of his life.
I'll be honest with you. I think the only reason why Detroit Lions didn't go to the Super Bowl is because of their head coach. Campbell
well,
has
I mean, Dan Campbell can be a great coach, but I think his problem is he's got too much ego to allow shit to happen.
Yeah.
And I might be way offline in saying that, but that's just my personal opinion.
There are a lot of fourth down plays where it's just like, why is he going for it? A few of them he's converted, and a few of them he hasn't. But at the same time, he should be lucky that they lost to Dallas that week that they lost. Because they would have won, they would have been the 2 seed playing the Packers. I think the Packers would have buried them in the wild card game. Would have been the same thing. So they got lucky.
You can't. I mean, in an NFL in an NFL setting, you can't be 4th and 8 on your 40 and go for it. That's stupid. Punt the ball, let your defense do the work, and see what happens. In the next series.
I think he thinks it's Madden he's playing. He's playing Madden, so he goes for it 4th and 8, not realizing this is the actual game. It's not Madden.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, all play calling aspects aside and everything. I think the weapons they have on Detroit on the offensive side of the ball are better than Green Bay. But then I do think Green Bay's got a better defense than Detroit. And, when Love is healthy, he knows how to get the ball to all these, wide receiver 2s and 3s that they've stockpiled on that team. And then, Jaden Reed and as their wide receiver 1, I guess, if you want to call him that. So I do think that down the stretch, now Detroit could really, it just looks to me like Detroit hasn't gelled yet. They're still not firing on all cylinders. If they get firing on all cylinders, I still think they're the team to beat. But as of right now, if we could, that's why, like I said, I hate to say a week 4 matchup is a must-win game, but boy, if we can get it done, that would really, really benefit us. Think about it. If we start the season 4-0, no matter what happens, we could basically play 500 ball for the rest of the year and still have a shot at being in the playoffs with like 9 or 10 wins. That's what winning this game gets you.
So I agree with you, Rob. Hang on. I agree with you. This is a must-win game because it's going to set the precedence in the NFC North that we're not to be fucked with. Everybody looked us over when Kirk Cousins left. Everybody looked us over, when Cam Akers left. Everybody looked us over, when we lost Kyrie. I mean, we're out to prove a point that we are a good team, and if we set the precedence right now. And we go up 4-0 in the year, and we're 1-0 in the division. I think that is the thing. Every week we beat New York Giants, we beat the San Francisco 49ers, we beat the Houston Texans, and we're still underdogs against the Packers.
Right, but at the same time, I think Sam Darnold has something to play for. He's playing for next season. He's definitely playing for next season. I think regardless of what happens, unless Sam Darnold can win a Super Bowl, I think J.J. McCarthy will probably be the quarterback next season. He'll probably be the starter. So,
I mean, I firmly agree with you, but Sam, if Sam comes out and gets us deep in the playoffs, then I think Sam will be our starter next year, and they'll groom JJ for another year because he was inactive for the whole year. So he hasn't learned anything. He hasn't done anything other than film work.
right.
I'm fine if we're the underdogs every freaking game because we always play better when we're the dogs.
Correct. Not just as I talked about, Sam Darnold's playing for a position, either be on the team next season or for a different team. Brian Flores he's defensively as the defensive coordinator. He's going for a head coaching position. So he definitely on defensively he wants to do good. So
unless Minnesota pays Brian Flores head coach money to be our defensive coordinator, he will be gone at the end of the year.
I will agree with you on that. I will agree with you on that.
Yeah.
And
so this is off subject, but sorry, this is off subject, but it is 12 minutes into the third quarter. Number 2 Georgia is getting rolled by number 4 Alabama 30-7.
Damn.
Georgia's looking, bro.
If any of y'all were betting
that's looking like that Minnesota Houston game.
Yeah, if any of you were betting on that game and you bet on the lesser ranked team on number 4 Alabama, you're probably pretty happy right now because they are just absolutely. You got
to be an absolute fool to bet against Alabama, even though Nick Saban left. That school plays good football.
I've got a question off of Vikings, nothing Vikings, but which football team has surprised you the most, and which team has disappointed you the most, as just a football fan?
In the NFL or college?
In the NFL, so far going into week 4.
The biggest disappointment I see, honestly, is Philadelphia. I mean, they say Jalen Hurts came back and he was healthy, and they spent all this money in the offseason bringing in Barkley and everything else like that. And I see them as a 500 team, right now. There's absolutely no chemistry at all.
Mm-hmm.
And my biggest, surprise is actually Tampa Bay.
Okay.
And I think Baker Mayfield has settled in. Mike Evans has settled in, and that team is going to be a force to reckon with in the future.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've got both of them guys on fantasy. I've got Chris Godwin and I've got Mike Evans, and what Baker Mayfield has done to resurrect his career down there is nothing short of impressive. And to be honest, if Sam Darnold has a resurrection of his career like that, he does take Minnesota to the playoffs. They win a playoff game or two and everything. Then that brings up the next question. I know we only got like 3 minutes left in the show, but do we bring Sling and Sam back for another year?
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think so.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think we should.
You bring in JJ McCarthy on cleanup. You let him mentor under Sam for one more year. There's no reason that we need to push JJ into the starting lineup right away. Do the smart thing. Do the Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers thing. Let him mentor, let him be comfortable. And then when it's time, bring him in and let him excel. Same thing that Tom Brady did under Drew Bledsoe. So there's absolutely zero reasons to rush him in.
I agree. 100%.
agree. Yep.
And we can stay on here after you cancel the show, and we can keep talking about all this, right, Rob?
Yeah. I know. I gotta go finish up my supper, and there was a death, very close friends of the family. So my wife and my kids are out.
I'm sorry to hear that.
They made food and took it to the neighbor's place and whatever. So, but yeah. Otherwise, normally I would, Mike. But yeah, I gotta go tend to a little bit of business and whatever after this. So
no, I am greatly. I'll pray for your loss, bro. I hope it's something that you guys can get over. And I'm sorry to hear about that.
Car accident, 16-year-old kid.
What's that?
Unfortunately, a car accident took a 16-year-old kid's life. Friends of my kids.
Damn.
So, yeah, very, very tragic.
Sorry to hear that, sad. Man. For real.
Yeah.
Definitely pray for you and your family.
Also, I appreciate it. So,
hey, what part of the military are you in, Rob?
The Army. I'll be retiring in about 5 weeks from today. It'll be my last day after nearly 29 years.
My son was in the Army for 8 years. He was a B-19. He was long field artillery. He was stationed at Coalfield in Hawaii. And my son-in-law right now, who's married to my daughter, is a what the hell? Petty officer first class in U.S. Navy. They're stationed in Norfolk, Virginia.
Awesome. Well, that's awesome because here this is our last September game, and then we're in Salute Service Month. So, yep. So, yeah, good. Clint Reisig says Bowen Turner, though. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. So,
has anybody heard how Klein is actually doing this year after he was traded?
Oh, Scene?
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything.
All I know is that Andrew Booth just got cooked.
Yeah, he did.
Dallas game. God, that was bad. Oh man.
He's gonna need some new ankles after that.
What happened with the D-back that we got from Dallas in that trade? Is he practice squad or did he cut him?
He's practice squad.
Is he? Okay. Hey, Teddy Bridgewater is 4-0 as a high school coach, so that's awesome.
All right, guys. We'll be back here next Saturday at 8 p.m. Look forward to talking football and go Vikes. Skol.
Skol. Skol.
Total Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, Facebook, and YouTube. Get all your sports news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B, Wrestling Roundup, The Big Football Show, and more, Shield TV, Lions Villain Report, and Red Zone Rant. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla, Grosef Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, The Bodkin Show, Spirit of Detroit Podcast, and Maniacs. The nightly podcasts are Hallis Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Skol Gang 365, The Huddle Sports Network Open Mic, First and 10 with Foz, Main Event Football Show, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports. Spitballing Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, Puckett, 313 Den Podcast, The Guys Huddle, Shots from the Sideline, Let's Talk Sports, The Michigan Truth Sports Podcast, Off the Rails. NFC Northeast, Power Hours, and Detroit Lions News. Make sure you